was done. Bitch, I'm one of them ones. Bitch, you one of my sons. I'm fucking this bitch for the fuck. I walk in this bitch with my gun. Like, who you think you fooling? Yeah, I really hate with shooters, yeah. We did get into it, yeah. How you wanna do it, yeah? We got our things, drakes and takes. Play with the gang, we aim at your neck. Fucking this bitch, my chain get away. She bring her friend, they make it a check. I get super.
So I was at the gym earlier, and I was working out, and I got the notification that PnB Rock had been shot. And then a little later, actually, as I was talking to somebody about it, just because, I get the Philly news all the time, and Philly is just hot right now. Philly's hotter than Tennessee. I see all this shit, that's making the mainstream media, but Philly's hotter than Tennessee right now. It's every day. Every day somebody's getting bodied. I don't really know what it's about. A lot, it doesn't even just seem like it's about robbing people. I mean, the carjackings are obviously robbing people, but some of the stuff just seems like it's like personal beefs, retaliation, revenge killings, and that sort of thing. But anyway, Philly's just hot right now. I don't even freaking go out like that. I don't go to downtown. I just don't feel safe. I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm at the age where it's like transitional. It's kind of like, do I really want to go to the bar, or is it worth it? The whole like the risk reward assessment. I know there's a lot of young people that go out and they like, oh, the pandemic's over, we get to go out, and I'm just like, the pandemic is not over. You know what I'm saying? I keep pointing out that, niggas out here starving and shit. There's a lot of, like, all over the country, whether you want to talk about people shoplifting, mobbing a convenience store, the carjacking, stealing people's catalytic converters, home invasions, all sorts of stuff that's just going on. You see it on the news, it pops up, somebody's getting shot. Every damn day this is going on. I see the thing down there in Georgia with, Young Thug and was it Young Gunner and what who is it, the mayor or the DA, whoever's, I think it's the DA, the woman DA. She's up there, talking about how many people have been robbed in Atlanta on social media. Right? So going back to the PnB, everybody's jumping up and down about his girl posting, the location on IG. And at first, I was as mad at her as everybody else. Because actually, there's quite a few songs I like from PnB Rock. The last one I heard that I thought was really good was the song High, which is a remix song. What group is that? Is that SWV or is it Total? I forget I think it might be SWV, that song, but I could be wrong. But anyway, it's a remix. It's like, the DA in Georgia was talking about, how some football players got robbed. And they posted, apparently posting shit on social media. People see what they got. I don't know why everybody's on social media like that. I remember I did a video on Styles P. When Styles P got robbed, I think he had two incidents. The first incident, he was like in the islands or something, posted he was in the islands, and they thought they were going to rob his house, that nobody was home, and his wife was home, but she actually had a shotgun. And then the second time, Styles was like wrestling the person in the house or something like that, and went out to the street, and all type of craziness happened. But I remember he did an interview, and I was trying to find it on YouTube. I couldn't find it. But he did an interview about how, him and Queenie, how these two cases happened. And, one of them was because, he basically posted when he wasn't home, and, the ops figured like, hey, we could rob him because they're not home. Like, people are watching and monitoring your open social media pages. I seen people on IG, like, random thoughts that I freaking follow on IG. You know what I mean? And they're doing shit like counting money with the money machine and shit like that because they're strippers or some other shit, or money they got from OnlyFans. And I'm like, you stupid bitch. Like, the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm just sitting there thinking like a criminal. Like, if I was going to rob somebody and shit, all I got to do is find out where the fuck you at. And I know that you got cash on you that you probably can't put in the bank because it's OnlyFans. I don't know. I know they had that funny thing with OnlyFans, and they took out the explicit, pornography type stuff. I'm just saying, I know that you got money on you. Friggin', they had this shit going on in Florida. Florida was big on that shit where you would have, these, they would basically chase down the guys that had the marijuana dispensaries. Because, and I don't know, like, what the deal was. It was something like they couldn't put it in the bank, so they would stash it in their house, and then the people would follow them to figure out where the house was, and then they would go and get the drop on the house and go in there and rob and steal and everything. I'm saying, 2 years of a global pandemic, jobs, shut down, markets all fucked up, gas is high, right? Housing market's crazy, right? And then especially out there in California, California, like, people are leaving California left and right. California has a huge homelessness problem. So the people that are at the lower rung of society and been at the lower rung of society, which is namely us, black folks, I've said it a million times, they can't weather the storm. Okay? Many of us cannot weather the storm. And so niggas out here starving and shit. And here you got, PnB walking around with all this jewelry on his neck, like he's a gazelle with a fresh baby gazelle with on top of that a rack of lamb around his neck, out there in Inglewood. I mean, LA has you had Pop Smoke. He went out to LA, got killed. Then you had Quando Rondo. He went out there. His boy got killed. And now you got PnB Rock, out there. Oh, let me go eat out at this restaurant like I'm some regular person. And these boys show up. Now everybody wants to blame, his girl. And don't get it twisted. I could go off for an hour about how stupid she is. I could just go off for an hour and I'm saying, like, what, I don't even know, like, I don't want to make it an anti-black woman rant and all that other shit, but I'm just like, here you got a black man that's here you got a black woman that has a black man that's doing well for himself in the music industry. Why the fuck aren't you guarding his shit? Why aren't you guarding and protecting his shit, putting his shit out there? Like, just stupid shit. And I get frustrated with all that aspect, because this is the type of shit, like, when you tell a bitch, like, yo, don't put me on your social media. Yo, don't do this. Yo, don't do that. And they just, they just think they don't understand the repercussions. They just think it's all fun and games and shit like that. Until this shit happens, because you want to post some shit about some fucking chicken and waffles. Like, for real? And now the nigga dead. Like, I could go off for like an hour just on that alone. But at the same time, aside from her stupid shit, I'm saying, the location, you gonna go there and you all iced up. And it's California. Again, since all y'all black people love Democrats so much, and you got Gavin Newsom up there who's fighting the Supreme Court when it comes to, we got to have more gun control, and we're not going to allow law-abiding people who clear all the background checks that Democrats say that they want to be able to conceal carry in California, especially in the Los Angeles area, because you got that Spanish, what's his name, the Hispanic sheriff and shit who doesn't what's the hell his name starts with a V, I think. Anyway, he doesn't support the 2A like that. So you out there lacking like a motherfucker. You out there, just with nothing but your ass. And I'm just like, and I pulled up because when I heard it, I was like, PnB. I'm like, who the hell? Like, this nigga sings most of the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what ops does he have? Right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he got ops. Nah, this shit was a robbery. You know what I mean? And again, like, if you've been looking around, especially out in California, in LA, them niggas been robbing white folks all year in broad daylight. They've been robbing people on Rodeo Drive, of all places. They've been robbing people eating dinner at restaurants and shit like that. Give me a watch, give me a watch, give me your chain, give me your wallet, give me your cell phone. There's videos on YouTube all over the place of how they've been getting down in California. Because the conservatives they use that shit. They've been foaming at the mouth about, bail reform and letting these people go. They get arrested and then be back on the street the next day. To my surprise, unlawful possession of a firearm in California, not during the commission of a crime, is actually a misdemeanor. It's not a felony. New York, it's a felony. New Jersey, it's a felony. Most other states, it's a felony. But in California, it's a misdemeanor. And I talked to a few people that when they go out to California, people that are, celebrities and shit like that, they fuck with me, but, I keep their shit private. But they're like, yeah, when I go out to Cali, I'm carrying. You know what I mean? Like it ain't worth it. Like I see the news. I got boys out there that got robbed and shit like that. Like niggas is wilding like it's the purge out this bitch. And you get these people, okay, you're doing well for yourself, that's great, but other people are not doing well for themselves. And I mean, California's that's like gang capital. Like that's like the origination of gangs. And that hasn't changed. And yet you got people out there, just lacking, just slipping and shit. People know that you're not from there. Everybody talking about this, this whole check in and check out. It's not even about check in and check out. This shit is about the fact that you out there, you wearing, tens of thousands of dollars of fucking jewelry, and you got cats out here that's starving. And I don't get this whole shit where I see all these artists, speaking up on this shit. I saw Nicki Minaj's post. I saw who else's post was it? It was some other woman posted, same thing, talking about, everybody's blaming, the girlfriend, for posting a location. But again, I don't even think it was I think they were watching him. They were watching him. So watching somebody all iced out and all that other shit, that is not hard. And I'm saying PnB is not even from freaking California. He's from Philly. He's not even from California. You know what I'm saying? So, how much was he tied into that shit? Obviously not at all. You know what I mean? When you got cats like Nipsey Hussle that owns a business out there, Slauson Boys, and he's getting popped. You know what I mean? I don't know what makes any of these cats think that they can't get popped. I mean, it's like, being a rapper now is I don't even think it has to do with being a rapper. I think it has everything to do with the fact that niggas are starving. And you out there, you flossing, talking about how good you got it and all this other shit. But anyway, I'm just getting off topic of what I wanted to say. But it's I was listening to the last video that was uploaded by PnB, which was 5 months ago on his channel, right? He got 2.12 million subs or whatever. And I'm playing the video. The song is whack. I'm just gonna say that right off top. The song is whack. They're doing all this squeaky voice auto tunes bullshit. And as soon as the beat, as soon as he gets into the song and he's rapping at the camera, and it looks like a Busta Rhymes video, with the fisheye lens and all this other shit, he starts talking about, how he's rolling with them shooters and shit like that. And I'm just like, well, nigga, you was lacking today. You know what I'm saying? Again, You get all these artists that always talk about all this gunplay, all this shit, and I don't care whether they got felonies or not having felonies, but they always talking about they got the shooters, they got the the goons. My goons will run up on you and all this other shit. You know what I mean? And they ain't never had shit on them. You know what I mean? I saw Meek Mills. He posted a tweet, about PnB, and then I go and I'm like, again, more lyrics about gunplay all the time. And when you go to that song that he did that he like just remixed with Big Pun, right in the song, he's talking about, I'm with them shooters that'll go to war with me or some shit like that, go to war for me or something like that. Right in like the first 10 seconds of the song. I'm like, oh, here we go. And so you have this situation where, it's like when I think about when people say, oh, it's the most dangerous job to be a rapper and everything. Well, look at the shit that niggas be putting out. You know what I mean? And then not only that, they all get smoked by all these young boys that are younger than them. They in their 30s, they getting smoked by 19-year-olds and 21-year-olds and shit like that. Niggas young boys that grew up on their music. And all they do is go out here and perpetuate lyrics of violence and killing each other and all this other shit. Like, this is what they do. And so to me, I think it's kind of ironic, when some of these rappers out here, they get killed. And not only it's two things. Like, it's like, not only do you help perpetuate the bullshit, but then you're not even doing what you say that you do in your songs. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas talking like they walking around with a fucking bazooka and Abrams tanks and shit like that. And then these niggas get killed. Oh, what happened? Oh, did he fire back? You know what I'm saying? Was there an exchange of gunfire? No, wasn't an exchange of gunfire. Motherfucker got ran up on, had nothing on him but a bunch of jewelry. Y'all niggas need to stop buying fucking jewelry and buy yourselves a goddamn gun. I mean, shit. And niggas are talking about, my ice is blinging and my ice shines and shit like that. The only thing that's fucking shining on me is the tip of my fucking chrome barrel. That's the only thing that's shining on me. Actually, I only have one gun that has a chrome barrel, but all the other ones are black nitride. So I got the shit right in front of me. I always keep that shit within arm's length. That shit is not... Like, I don't get that shit. The niggas that be out here talking about how they shooters and how they in the streets and, how they goons and how they know goons and all this shit ain't never got them on them. You know what I'm saying? Pop Smoke, I ain't hear nothing about him having it on him. Freaking Quando Rondo, I didn't hear anything about Quando Rondo having it on him. And then especially when you're not in your element. Right? When you're not in your environment, and especially when you out there in some liberal place like California, you had that other rapper, he was a young and upcoming rapper, but he got killed in that store in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Begging for his life and shit. And the motherfucker took what the motherfucker, and I don't know if he was lacking or not. I don't know if the guy took a gun from him or the guy had a gun. I forget how it was. But anyway, he got robbed and the dude ended up shooting him. You know what I mean? And it was like he was just there to visit family or some shit like that. Like, this straight savages out here. And I know the black community is torn because, you got people out here to talk about, that's why we got to get rid of the guns because there's so much gun violence and all this other shit. But when you talk about creating regulations of gun control, who is that going to affect? It's not going to affect any of these people that are the type to carry a gun illegally and then run up on people illegally and then rob them illegally or murder them illegally. Like, it's not going to have any effect on them. You want more restrictions, all it's going to do is prevent you from being able to protect yourself, and you'll be out there in Lackatopia in California, and this is the type of shit that happens. I don't know why everybody's running around thinking shit is sweet out here. It blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? I keep my black ass in fucking side. You know what I'm saying? Like I like point blank period. I got all type of thoughts that go through my head, when it comes to carrying. Like carrying makes you probably the most passive person in the fucking world. Because like I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through court. I don't want to go through a civil suit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to sit in jail. They confiscate my firearm and then I got to, lawyer up, or I got to call USCCA, or Law Shield or whatever. I don't want to have to do all of that. You know what I mean? Like if the shit is just too hot, like I'm avoid that. Let me go over here where the white folks is at and not have to deal with any of that bullshit. I mean, I don't say have nightmares about it, but it's like, what would I do? Like, all the compassion I have, for the community and understanding why the shit is like this and the situation and circumstances that black people have been put in due to the system of white supremacy. And let's say I'm in line at like a 7-Eleven or something and a motherfucker walks in like, it's a stick up. You know what I mean? And do I react? What do I do? I'm probably going to have to pull out because they usually don't just hit the person behind the counter. They usually shake down everybody in the store. So immediately I got to draw and I'm like, damn, man, I got to fucking kill this 17-year-old or this 16-year-old. I don't want to have to do that. But then at the same time, it's like that's no time to have any sort of compassion because you see what they do to people. You know what I mean? Freaking, PnB Rock is just on the ground, just leaking to death. Nobody's administered any aid, nothing, none of that shit. They're just sitting there, world star, just watching them bleed out. Like, I'm like, this shit is fucking crazy. This is crazy. But, when you recognize that type of, that's why, I said when it came to that Buffalo shooting, if you haven't seen it, if you want to sit there, oh, I can't stomach it. You know what I mean? I'm like, if you can't stomach that, then you ain't ready to go to war. And when I mean go to war, I mean you ain't ready to protect yourself. You ain't prepared for, shit to happen. Because if you can't even handle what a gun does, if you can't handle the reality of that, then you the type of person that I would say you don't need to have a firearm on your person. Because you don't have it in you. Going back to, let's quote, Jordan Peterson about, a weak man or a man that engages in nonviolence is not a good man. A good man is a man that has that is capable of violence but has it underneath voluntary control. And that's what you have to be. Look, I'll be the first one to admit, that, ironically or contradictorily, if it's even a word, anyway, in contradiction to what I'm saying, yeah, I listen to a lot of the gangster shit, especially when I'm working out and I'm in the gym. And I listen to it to understand the mindset, to understand, aside from whatever adrenaline rush that I get from listening to it, I'm saying to understand, the nature, the violence, that is out here. If I'm ever confronted with it, you know what I mean? Like you better go Super Saiyan. There is no half-ass in your response. I mean, look no further than, active self-protection. And a number of videos are where people decide it's go time and they half-ass go time. Usually when they half-ass it, you know what you get? The person gets mad and then freaking, retaliates and shoots you just because they're mad at the audacity of you even trying to not comply. You saw this with that student, the culinary arts student in Chicago, the one that got shot in the leg with the 357, got his leg fucking amputated. That man shot him 3 times because he fought back. You know what I mean? So you better have a game plan. You better have the skills. You better have the training. When this shit goes on. But when you walking around and you riding around in big expensive cars and you rocking all the chains and shit like that, like, again, the black community is not the white community. You know what I'm saying? The white community, white people don't hang around white pores. They don't. Affluent white people hang around other affluent white people, and they ride their expensive cars. Like you'll see this if you drive across the country. Leave Philadelphia and just go west, and all of a sudden, all the Teslas start disappearing and shit. You don't see electric vehicles; they disappear. When you go out that far. Why is that? Because the jobs and opportunities are in the city. The wealthy people are going to hang around other fucking wealthy people. The people that go to the golf course, they go to the golf course together. You know what I mean? They again, black people want to act like, there's no class, in the black community. You know what I mean? Or you get this, all these niggas all the niggas that don't leave their city end up dead. That's just the first part. All the niggas that stay in the same city, they end up dead. But what was the other thing I was going to say about aside from these rappers and them not staying in the city, it was something else. Another point that I was going to make. Hold on a second. Oh, I remember. This whole mentality of, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna show how much, I'm involved in the streets, and I'm gonna go back to, such and such an area. Or, I'm like, y'all in a different tax bracket. You cannot fuck around with the quote unquote peasants. You know what I'm saying? I mean, freaking Lil Wayne, didn't he have another attempt on his life? Then you got Cameron. I remember he had an attempt on his life and shit, got shot in the hand. You know what I mean? You can't, aside from whatever gang beef that might be there, whatever you in another nigga's hood beef might be there, just because you in another nigga's hood. We don't fuck with Dipset, whatever the hell it is. Or then you just got the hating ass niggas. The niggas standing on the corner with the banana talking about, I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. I'm gonna have to drop a dime on them niggas. I don't like that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, I don't understand this obliviousness to motherfuckers that rap and talk about the fucking streets all day. I'm a lame. I grew up in the burbs. And I got more awareness than some of these guys out here that, rapping about they in the streets all day. This shit makes no sense. Always rapping about violence and all this other stuff. And it's like, and you don't think that has an impact on the community. It most certainly has an impact on the community and the minds of these young men. And I know what all these rappers are going to jump up and say. They're going to do the same shit niggas did in the 90s. I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model. I'm just an entertainer. But I mean, it seems to me like the chickens are coming home to roost. The only rapper that I can say, honestly, and maybe there's probably obviously other ones out here, but the only one that is personally prepared out here is DaBaby, because he's already killed 2 people that try to run up on him. That's another thing, because I was talking to somebody about this, about, this whole, what about armed security and all this shit, and we were just spitballing about the shit, because, this person is a person that has had to hire armed security for themselves. And basically what it comes down to is you'll go broke trying to have armed security around you 24/7 all the time. Like, you got to be like Jay-Z or some shit like that. On top of the fact that paying these niggas like $1,000 or whatever, is they're not going to take a bullet for you. You know what I mean? They may push the paparazzi out the way, but ain't none of them niggas going to take a bullet for you. And I doubt any of them security guards, or if I want to say ASAP Rocky, but if PnB Rock had any security guards with him, I highly doubt that any of them were carrying. So nobody was about to do shit. There was no return fire, right? I haven't seen any articles. I haven't seen anybody say, oh, there was some return fire. So anyway, getting into the whole security thing, like, the reality is, and this is why, there needs to be more talk about, responsible gun ownership in the black community. Not just from what rappers need, but in a general sense. Because most of the time, the people that are affected by these type of crimes are not fucking rappers. I don't know why everybody's always like, oh, we got to focus because this is that rapper and I like their music and shit like that. But the majority of people that get
that caught up with this shit are not rappers. Now remember that the dude in Georgia recently that got killed filling air in his goddamn tires. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is going on every day. People, especially at gas stations, all that stuff. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. I'm saying about what was I saying about the security guards? Oh, at the end of the day, people are going to be doing, even if you're a rapper or entertainer, you're going to get caught lacking by doing regular shit. You in the Walmart, you in the Target. I think the baby, when he shot that dude, he was in Walmart, right? Y'all seen the video? He was in the store getting whatever, freaking towel, paper towels or some shit like that and getting run up on, hoping that nobody freaking recognizes you. Like, hey, I gotta go to town. Like, just imagine, like nobody wants to do that. Like you're the president's child and you're trying to sneak out of the White House so that you can go and get something and freaking the Secret Service is following you around everywhere. Like there's no freedom in that. That's why I always said, I always wanted to be rich, but not famous. Because when you're famous, you can't do certain shit. You can't just do regular shit. But the reality is people do regular shit. They'll go out there and try to put a scarf on their face or put a hoodie on or wear a hat real low. At the end of the day, everybody has to do regular shit. People get their own toilet paper. They get their own freaking toiletries. They get their, they walk into the store. They do their own grocery shopping and shit like that. A lot of people just like to do it. For hell, sometimes it's therapeutic. You know what I mean? But when you got people out here that know who you are, know what you got, you got nothing but, expensive vehicles that you riding around with, and then you walking around wearing your jewelry and shit. I'm like, niggas out here starving. I mean, what do y'all think it is? Do you think it's the roaring 20s and shit like that? Like everybody's good. Nobody's really tripping over the fact that you walking around with $100,000 on your neck. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. To me, it's just like, maybe because I've been watching too many active self-protection, it's just like, you got to be aware of your surroundings. You got to be, and not only that, you got to make, smart decisions about where you're going. Why are you going there? You know what I mean? Like, what is it you want to get out of that? You know what I mean? Like, all the money that he had. Oh man, I want some wild man. Freaking, what do you call that shit? Not the damn Uber, the freaking Grubhub that shit or something. Had them bring that shit to you. But you can't be riding around, oh, let's go park, let's go eat some food at Inglewood, and then you got a simpleton-ass girlfriend that's posting this shit online. I mean, like I said, don't get me started on her, because you supposed to be guarding your man's shit. If this man is providing a lifestyle for you, there's so much so that you want to brag about it. That's like, you need to protect that man's privacy. You know what I mean? But all these goddamn women with this social fucking media, they want to post every goddamn thing. That's I call this younger generation that's younger than me. I call them Generation Self Snitch, because y'all niggas always out here self fucking snitching. You gotta post. Everything is not for everybody. Everything is not for public consumption. But y'all just can't wait to post where you at. What you doing, how much you got, showing off your money, showing off your cars, want to show everybody your fucking success. I mean, speaking on sisters and seeking global validation and not just being content with the motherfucker that you with. Yeah, chick, you got it like that. Who are you bragging to? Who are you trying to show off to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, it's like, I ain't gonna get in that. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. And so, everybody's going at her, going ham on her, and to a great degree, they should. But again, I don't think that's the reason why, them goons showed up. You know what I mean? They're watching you. You know when somebody ain't from where you from, they riding around. Oh, that's a nice car and shit like that. You in Inglewood? I ain't never heard anything positive about Inglewood in my entire life. Just like I haven't heard anything positive about Compton in my entire life. I've never heard anything positive about Inglewood. You know what I mean? You ask me, what's in Inglewood? You know what my response would be? Niggas. Like, that would be my only answer. Niggas. You know? Let me see this shit. Inglewood gangs. I bet you it's all Crip. Inglewood gang map. Let's see. What is Inglewood? Inglewood. Yeah, this shit is blue as fuck. It's Crips all over. Look, what is this? South Central LA. Yup. And then even the distribution of gangs is retarded. Like, it's not even like Bloods on one side of the city and Crips on the other side of the city. Like, these niggas is like you got Blood neighborhoods that literally are surrounded by Crips. Like, this shit is retarded. I don't even know how old this map is. South Central, Los Angeles, Inglewood. Where's this at? West Athens. Inglewood. Nah, actually, Inglewood, well, there's Crips on one side, and then this map says there's Bloods on the other side. And then there's just a free area before you get to, what highway is that? The 405 and shit. And then there's Edward Vincent Jr. Park over to the east. But it's between the 405 and the freaking Edward Vincent Park, looking right at the shit. And then south of that is what is that? Centinela Hospital. So after he got shot, I mean, the hospital's like literally right there, like a rock's throw away there. But that shit don't mean anything if nobody at the scene knows CPR. This is actually a pretty cool map. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, it's just, you can't be out here being the only have around a bunch of have-nots. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your favorite color is. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers out here starving. They don't give a fuck about who you are. You know what I mean? Unless you tapped in, connected somehow. And even still, you know what I mean? Like, top gangsters have been killed and shit like that. People who are tapped in. So that should tell you something. But, I mean, I don't have much else to say about it. I don't know. I sometimes I just get frustrated just looking at the black community as a whole. And it's just like, I mean, then maybe that's just the nature of the beast of the music, you know? It's like you say, oh, this brother's doing good for himself and he's successful. And I hate the fact that that's like the only way that black folks can, sports and entertainment. Meanwhile, the white community, they got Elon Musk, they got Jeff Bezos, they got Bill Gates. Like, there's other shit for niggas to be balling out of control in other communities, for like white folks to be balling out of control. There's other shit. With us, it's just music and entertainment, music and entertainment, music and entertainment. You know, and then the music that is the most popular genre that we have, you know, as Nas said one time, you know, we're like slaves on a ship. What he say? Toasting death and pain like slaves on a ship, talking about who got the flyest chain. That line always is stuck in my head. Toasting death and pain like slaves on a ship, talking about who got the flyest chain. And that literally sums up, you know, hip hop. It sums up modern day hip hop. You know, like I said, I'm guilty as the next person. I listen to the music. I don't know how much that supports the music, because, you know, I get most of my shit from you know, like these online apps. People go to, you know, DatPiff, Spinrilla, you know, You can get, all the latest stuff on there. But there's other genres of music that are even on there. SoundCloud, that's another one. But, yeah, I listen to it, but I don't let it go to my head. But you get a mix of poverty and then, the theme music of poverty. And I'm like, nah, these young boys out here will kill you. They've been geared to kill you because of the soundtrack, the theme music. You know what I mean? It's already bad enough, that people in poverty that are in desperate situations are more likely to do shit like that. But I'm saying, but then you throw the theme music on top of it. I don't know. Something's got to give. Something's got to change. And even the people, listen to this, they want to blame like the artist and shit like that and say, oh, well, the artist, yeah, that's right. That's right, Pete. They need to change the music, right? That's what they'll say. But at the same time, what music do y'all listen to? What music do you support? Or, like you'll sit there and say that, but then all the hits, all the stuff, like it's like, like I kind of feel like about black women. They'll sit there and they'll be talking about, and black men need to stop calling us bitches and hoes in songs. Like going back to like the BET Summit and Dr. Boyce Watkins with his bitch ass up there. You need to stop calling these women bitches and hoes. Eric Dyson, he was on the same shit, right? And then then like WAP comes out and the women are like, yeah, girl, that's my song. Yeah, that's right. I got that WAP. Then all of it, I'm a bad bitch. It's like, really, I thought this was all about respectability politics and you want to be recognized and how come we can't be, Victorian virgins like white women? It's like, well, I'm saying WAP does not help you. But people don't understand that. So it's like, people will say, well, maybe we should change the music. But then, okay, well, what music does the black community, consume? I see the way that people react when lyrics are about, I do this with the person and I take the Desert Eagle and I slide and I do this and I do that. And the next thing you know, niggas in the cipher like, oh, nigga, that shit is fire. That's fire. I don't even know if you could do that with anything positive. That's the sad part. I mean? Motherfucker wouldn't be talking some positive shit and then cats would be like, nigga, you whack. Nigga, that shit corny. You know what I mean? Go back and listen to like some old, I'm talking about Meek Mills with the cornrows. I'm talking about cornrows Meek Mills. You know what I'm saying? Like what would that be? Like 2000 and what year was that? Like 2001 Meek Mills? You know what I'm saying? Like, go watch some of them videos and listen to what he's saying. So, people are like, oh, this is so sad and da 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 da. But quiet as is kept, they was on some savagery, before they had a record deal themselves. So I just think there's a lot of areas that, the black community needs to examine on this in terms of safety, preparation, awareness, our feelings about the Second Amendment, gun control, gun rights, and this whole aspect of recognizing that, black people are not doing so well out here. I don't know why people keep thinking like shit is sweet. Like motherfuckers recognize you're gangster or some shit like that and they ain't gonna fucking rob you. You know what I'm saying? It's like my man down there in Florida talking about, young boys out here looking to catch bodies and shit. They looking to catch a body. They looking for the clout chasing and bragging and shit like that. I don't know how many young men I see, on social media. Every time I get a notification, such and such high schooler was arrested because they were posting guns on social media. I'm like, you dumb fuck. Why are you you're 17, you're 16. Why the fuck are you posting guns on fucking Instagram like somebody's not gonna fucking red flag you? Like, you stupid. But some people would say, no, Pete, let them be stupid because we don't need them having guns, especially the stupid ones. And I have to agree with you. You know what I mean? So like they say, when your enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt them. I'm with you 100%. But by the same token, it's kind of like, what are you doing as a young black man getting caught in the system and then self-snitching? This ain't Generation Z. This is Generation self-snitch. Because that's all they do, self-snitch. That's how they got Young Thug and all, and now they want to use their lyrics against them. I'm like, why are you talking about fucking murders and shit? You stupid. Fulio was on that same stupid shit. You know what I mean? And Florida was on what the Georgia DA. He's done. He's done. Same with Young and Ace. Done. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all putting the shit in your lyrics and stuff like, yeah, I did this and I was here and I was there and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, stupid. Stupid. They got a whole entire social media task force out here. To pick up on, just niggas doing dumb shit. You don't hear about anybody else getting caught up except for black folks because they posted shit on social media. We could talk about, oh, well, they're not monitoring white people. Maybe so. But that doesn't excuse the fact that you're telling on yourself because you're so busy trying to fucking clout chase that you're posting, self-incriminating yourself online. It's a little bit too late to plead the fifth at that point. Oh, Your Honor, I don't want to self-incriminate myself. Well, you already did. You already did, dumbass. Anyway, let me end this video. That's all I got to say. That's my video. SWP out. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. I'm out.
The one and only, fool.
This nigga still talking shit. Hey, bro, you fried or something, bro? What you smoking some coke? You still want to mention my name and shit. Like, you good, bro?
Man, I came to check up on you.
When you, he want to be my man so bad, but we not gang, bro.
We'll never be tight, nigga. What I was saying. When I pulled up to Mecca Sounds, you wasn't on shit.
Yo, this is my bid. I only came on here just to bid off you, bro. You really my bid. What's up,
Nigga,
though?
when I came to Mecca Sounds, you wasn't on shit.
You came to where?
Krishan Studio, nigga.
Who the fuck? Oh, you talking about Hitmaker shit?
Oh, you talking about him making shit?
He said Makai Sound. Bitch, you don't even know what you talking about. You don't even know the right name. You saying some dumb shit. And when you came there, what? What about it? Where the fuck I was at?
That's what niggas want to know. Nigga, when I pulled up, nigga, you was quiet for like 4 days, nigga.
Hey, y'all see this goofy ass nigga, bro? Get this man all the clout he want. All y'all on my live right now, get this man some clout, bro. He just reaching. He want to be big PnB so bad, you hear me?
Nigga, I'll take your shit off your neck.
Oh, man.
Real talk.
Yo, I'm bad over this nigga, you hear me?
Use account. Where you at?
I'm in the A, man. Get with me, but get lost. Why you trying to put your glasses on? You really trying to be me, bro?
You see it?
Look at this nigga, man. This nigga is the big.
Use a character.
You my son for real, bro. You like 40.
40, nigga. I'm your age, nigga.
Oh, they back?
Yeah, they back.
All right, man.
I'm
I got
saying,
real.
though, you in LA?
No,
You see it on
I'm
your
in
side?
Atlanta, bro. I just told you, bro.
You in
Hey.
Atlanta? Spreading that shit. There's some people like in the city need to get down on you, though.
Tell him to pull up, man.
Where you at?
In Atlanta.
Where?
Fuck, nigga, just tell him to come to the A, nigga. The fuck?
Nigga, Minnesota in Atlanta, fool.
Oh, I ain't know that.
We gonna call you back.
You stupid?
We don't got time for that negative energy.
All right, well, look, I'm gonna hit you on a one-on-one, so I'm gonna see you pull up on me.
You ain't gonna do shit, nigga.
All right, bro, because you're a bitch. You hear me?
Bet. I'm gonna make you eat that. That nigga.